All right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mac, Play Fast Football. Make sure you check out some of our sponsors. GameStrat, sideline replay system we use. If you're looking for the #1 choice for coaches looking for a highly reliable, highly affordable sideline replay system, check out GameStrat. In the description box below, you will see a direct link to take you to GameStrat's website. JustPlayFB, which is the diagram play drawing tool that I use, playbook tool that I use if I'm going to draw any plays to speak at a clinic or any plays to do a webinar. I use Just Play. They also have some great educational features where you can quiz your players on some game plan information, playbook information, so you can actually see your players taking the quiz, figure out what they know and what they don't know, because a lot of times your players will just tell you, yes, coach, I got it. Now you can find out if they really know. DifferenceUSA, the ultimate striking machine. Get thousands of reps working on striking, elbows in, thumbs up. You don't need a partner. You don't need anybody holding a bag or a medicine ball. It's just you and the DifferenceUSA machine. Defensive Coordinator 1, an in-game app that lets you make critical in-game adjustments based on the actual live in-game data. All right, so you know what you're calling, you know what they're calling, your personnel, their personnel. You can now match up what you've called with what they've been calling. All right, and then you can figure out maybe there's a call that was really good against 10 personnel but not against 20 personnel. You don't call it again because you thought it was a bad call, but it was actually a bad call against a certain personnel group. Now you have it live with the stats and the data tracked in the game, so you can make the proper in-game adjustments. All right, Dome Hats, which is a major headwear sponsor the only headwear sponsor for Play Fast Football. Here's our white Play Fast hat with the Play Fast logo on the back. We've been doing a question of the day on Twitter for the last about 35 days since the coronavirus pandemic came out. So Dome has been helping coaches out there give away a Play Fast bucket hat and helping everybody take their mind off of what's going on by answering a question of the day. Every hat has a story. Why don't you let Dome help you tell yours? Custom online hat builder that you can generate and build your own hat with your logo. And Baker Sporting Goods, right, is a local sporting goods company that we work with for our spirit packs. We work with them for our uniforms. All right, they are a local company here in Northeast Florida, but they do some work around the country. They get up into Georgia and South Carolina, and then they also do some travel baseball work around the country. All right, so we've got another giveaway going on Twitter that we did yesterday with a backpack that a coach in Georgia won, and I'm going to be doing another one tomorrow. So make sure you check out at Baker Sports. Okay, and then today's video is going to be with the newest partner that we just started to work with, and I'm really excited about this as a head coach because this is an actual partner that has a product that we can use on the football field to help us train our players, all right, fundamentally to do things the proper way. And the company's called High and Tight. You can follow them on Twitter at High and Tight 1. You can go to their website, all right, just search High and Tight in your website or in your browser to go check out the High and Tight website. It's a company created by a college football coach, Coach Kruger. Okay, he was a high school football coach at one point, had some fumbles that cost him some games. He went back and watched, and he couldn't figure out exactly why there were fumbles. He watched the film. He thought the ball was in good position. He told his kids, I will get to the bottom of this and figure this out. He came up with this training aid, which is called High and Tight. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal name because when a couple of years back when I had one of my assistant coaches with me at my original job that was also a Pop Warner coach of mine when I was growing up, he was our running backs coach, and he would yell to our running backs all the time, high and tight, all right, high and tight, high and tight. Then when the story came out about Tiki Barber and his fumble issues and what he did to correct those, he would put an article that came from a New York newspaper, all right, or a national publication. I forget exactly where it came from, but he put that article on every running back's and every wide receiver's, all right, locker to show them, and the article, all right, the written article, and then the pictures of Tiki Barber holding the ball high and tight. And then what would happen is when we would go out on the field, he would just yell high and tight, and every kid on our team knew what that meant. So we had been using the term, or at least coaches that I know had been using that term going back to the Tiki Barber days, talking about high and tight, wrist above elbow, high and tight, right? So as a coach, if you know the old adage, ball security is job security. And the turnover margin is a big thing in football, and trying not to lose fumbles is a big thing in football. So, if ball security is job security, why don't we have training aids that help us? We have sleds that help us block. We have leverage sleds that help us block with leverage. We have chutes to teach proper, leverage in our stances and proper depth for ankle flexion, knee flexion, hip flexion in our stances, how to play with the proper pad level. The last couple of years, there's been so many different tackling devices to help us learn, whether it be tackle tubes, donuts, the actual automated robots that go down the field, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know the company, all right, so forgive me, but you know what I'm talking about. We are talking about all these different things to help you train your kids on how to tackle, all right? Why not have a ball that trains you on how to properly carry the ball with the right points of pressure? So I've been a head coach for 20 years about now, a graduate assistant coach in college for 2 years, and an assistant coach in high school, so 23 years of coaching experience. Played football for a long time, including 4 years as a wide receiver in college, caught over 135 passes in college, played a skill position my whole life, so my entire life I have been carrying, all right, a football, my entire life. So when I pick up this football right away, I can go into what I think is the proper position to hold the football. Okay, as soon as I do that with my wrist above my elbow, all right, my elbow in, so from behind you can't really see a lot of air behind the ball. As soon as I do that, I'm not getting an auditory response. As soon as I hold the ball in the right spot with the right points of pressure, okay, so when I get the football where I need it with the right points of pressure, until I do that, you don't hear a thing, all right, until I properly hold the football the way it belongs, all right, and at that time when I hold the football the way it belongs, the auditory response becomes the beep. So all of these things that I am doing right now, there is no beep. So everything that a kid would think, all right, that he is holding the ball the proper way, you give him that football and you say, hey, put that football in your arm. All right, let me see how you hold it. All right. That beep tells me that it's high and tight. Until that beep on camera, all those other ways I was holding the football, there's no beep. Every other way that I'm holding the football, there's no beep. Until I do it correctly. Okay, until I do it correctly, I now have an automatic auditory feedback that tells me when it's right. So I can do all these other things with the football to what I think might be correct. And as a coach, visually, we can tell kids, if I do this, you all know what's wrong with that. Right? If I get my wrist below my elbow, you all know what's wrong with that. Okay? If I get it out here swinging, if I swing it like this, every coach knows what's wrong with that. But what about this right here? Is that wrong? Look at my elbow, look at my wrist, split the tip. Is that right there wrong? Well, here's the deal. It's not making any noise. Okay? So obviously, something about that is wrong. There's the noise. See the prolonged noise? That's it right there. So once I figure out the points of pressure, how to hold a football, all right, where it belongs, now I've got it to where I get the beep, I get the auditory response. So why not use a training aid that is going to give your kids the proper response and let them hear the proper response of what they need to know, so that when they hold the ball in the right spot, you automatically get a feedback. We have all these other tools to help kids with fundamentals and skills. Why not have one to help us in the most important possible, all right, offensive and defensive statistic? Always keep, you hear all the time about turnover margin, and if we're +1 in the turnover margin, we win this amount of games, or our chances improve. If we're +2, if we're +3, if we're minus, our chances of losing games goes up. So why not teach kids how to hold the ball the right way with a tool that helps you, all right, understand, is it right or wrong? So on film, you know right now. Right? Wrong. Right? Wrong. Okay? So make sure you check out High and Tight. This is a great product, all right, and it's a great tool that you're going to be able to use, and I'm going to use with my team. And I'm going to give you even one more, all right, piece of information. Last night was the first round of the NFL draft. There was only one running back taken in the first round, all right, and that was Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU. Kansas City and Andy Reid took a running back in the first round with the 31st or 32nd pick, and it was, all right, the running back from LSU. Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin is the most productive running back to ever play the game of college football. He had back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons, and Troy Davis from Iowa State was the only other player to do that. Okay, and in his freshman year, he rushed for 1,977 yards, which means he was 23 yards short of having 3 2,000-yard rushing seasons. He did not get taken in the first round last night. Now, you can argue that he's got a lot of tread on his tires. He carried the ball 900 times in college. You can argue that NFL teams are worried about that. You can argue that he didn't catch enough passes. Wisconsin didn't use him out of the backfield enough. You can argue that Andy Reid and what the Chiefs do, all right, the kid from LSU, Edwards-Helaire, is a better back for what the Chiefs do. You can argue that. But there's one fact, all right, and in my opinion goes a long way. Jonathan Taylor put the ball on the ground 15 times. He lost 15 fumbles in his college career. So those 15 fumbles that he lost in his college career may have cost him, all right, a first-round pick. Now, for a running back, who don't last long in the NFL, their first contract is going to be the most important contract for them because they want to get as much guaranteed money as possible because they may not make it past 5 or 6 years. For a lot of other positions, it's the second contract that becomes the big one. But for running backs, it's the first contract. So that first round pick is going to guarantee a lot more money than where Jonathan Taylor is going to end up. He's still going to go in the second round. He's going to go probably early second round. He's going to be a good NFL back, in my opinion, if he's healthy. But the bottom line is he cost himself potentially millions of dollars because he had an issue putting the ball on the ground. It has chased many running backs out of a career in the NFL because they put the ball on the ground. Why not have something that helps you understand when the football is held properly? So high and tight, auditory response. You can hear the beep. I know when it's right, wrong, right, wrong, right, wrong, right. Why not have a tool that helps you train your kids on how to hold the football? All right, as always, I appreciate everything that you guys do for Play Fast Football. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you turn on your notifications so that you know when we do videos. Click the thumbs up or thumbs down. Interact with it so we know what you like, what you don't like. Send me a message about the videos. Send me a message about future videos, okay? And I respond to 99% of the messages as long as I can see them. All right, stay safe out there. We will be back to football. When we get back to football, get yourself some of these high and tight footballs so you can train with your players. All right, make sure you take care of each other out there. I appreciate everything you do for me. Remember, you won't play well
until you play fast.
Say it again, Mace.
You don't play well until you play fast.
You won't play well until you play fast. I'll see you guys next time.